come on out to FETC 2017 and learn how we've programmed for everybody in IT and education.
On today's show, we're talking to Bruce Umpstead about the idea of return on instruction and his role at FETC 2017. We'll have the featured artist of the week, the Google tip of the week, and more. Stay tuned.
EduTech Guys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed on the site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.
Hello and welcome to EduTech Guys Radio, brought to you by the Southwest Arkansas Education Cooperative and Hope Public Schools, both located in Hope, Arkansas. How you doing? I'm David Henderson.
Hey, and I'm Jeff Madlock.
Awesome. Welcome to the show. This is the pre-Christmas show.
It's the Christmas show.
It is the Christmas show.
Because I'm not going to be here Sunday.
No.
I'll be dead by then. No. Santa Claus have come into my house and come in with an AK-47.
Santa Claus is going to come with the bills. That's
He's going to come, yeah.
That's right.
What happened to Daddy? He had a heart attack.
Christmas killed Daddy.
Santa came in that Norelco shaver and just cut him down.
It worked so good, I bought the company.
Hey, as much as razors cost now, it'd almost be that way.
Yeah.
How do we get off on razors?
I have no idea. Anyway.
Hey, welcome to the show. It is the Christmas show. Today we have a great guest that we'll be talking to about FETC 2017.
Yeah, man.
And all the good stuff that happens. Hey, check us out on the web at www.edutechguys.com. Catch all of our podcasts there. Find some recordings from the conferences that we've been at this year and last year. Also drop down to the bottom of the main page. You'll find a contact form there. You can fill it out and get in touch with us.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
You can also find us on
Twitter at EduTechGuys, Facebook /EduTechGuys, wherever else we are, Instagram, Google Plus, you name
it, we're there.
That's right, we're out there.
Just go to Google, type in EduTechGuys, all one word, EduTechGuys, and you will find us.
That's the long S, not the silent S, and not the big S. Oh, that's a big S you got there.
I need to stop being an S. So, it is the internet.
It is.
So
there you go. It's the internet's.
Christmas time is here.
You got to put it on the line.
On the line. And which we'll put the show on the line after you listen to it. It'll be up on the line. You can catch us on iTunes and on Google Play. Also, we're out there in a few other markets. If you're looking for podcasts, you can type in EduTech Guys, podcasts, and probably find us on other RSS feeds.
Yeah.
But we do push iTunes and Google Play because one has analytics and one is iTunes.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, I'm not hurting. And their Frankenstein Christmas commercial is doing real well for itself, so I'm not going to, Have you seen the Frankenstein Apple Christmas commercial?
I, in a weird sort of way, I think I've seen it,
it's
but
odd,
I don't remember it.
But it's good. It's like, okay, huh?
Well,
a mix-up of a monster and Christmas, and it's kind of a Grinchy Christmas, middle of town kind of thing. It's pretty cool. But yeah, hey, today on the show, we are going to have a great conversation with Bruce Umpstead.
Yeah.
And he's going to let us know what his role is with FETC 2017. Lots of stuff that he's in charge of there. And we'll let him tell you about that during that little convo.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
We do a nice little interview with him. And like David said, it's Christmas. The kids are out. By the time you hear this conversation, you're listening to us right now, the kids are all out of school.
Yeah.
It should be the 21st.
Should be.
Isn't today the 21st? Make it sound like we,
It's the 21st.
It's
right?
the 21st.
Yeah.
So
here's the thing. I know this sounds absolutely ridiculous, but how is it that Christmas sneaks up on us every year? You know when it's coming.
Yeah.
Every time. It happens the same day every single year. And yet we get to this point and it's like, holy, I got to go buy this and I got to do this and I got to wrap this and I got to plan this and we got to cook this and we got to. That's insane.
It's crazy insane. I don't know why we do it every year. It's just, and yeah, that's interesting. We do it every year.
Yeah. And every year after, I'm like, I'm not doing this next year. I'm going to plan things out.
I told myself that too.
I did. In fact, I had planned to buy 2 things a month throughout the year.
Yeah, create gifts and get it taken.
Right.
Did too.
And some of it might have been birthday for somebody. Some of it, it's going to be hold out for Christmas. No. Do I buy anything? No, I wait until, frankly, usually I wait until Christmas Eve and then I go buy stuff.
Yeah.
Which is stupid.
But I know some people, I know some folks that's actually how they do it. They actually go out on Christmas Eve, and they've just, no, I always wait to Christmas Eve, do my shopping then, get folks what they need, and then, it's Christmas Day. And, and there's the thing that as educators, we've always gotten out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I've got a week to get ready for it and a week after to recover from it.
Right.
But, most people, real working folks, get off, maybe.
Well, now listen, educators are real working folks.
You know what I mean? I mean, the 9 to 5 really true.
I know what you're saying.
The heart of America. But, most folks get off maybe the 23rd, but definitely, just Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So they don't have the opportunity to go and shop.
And even if that, my son happens to fit in that category. He's actually a college student, but he works, well, especially now that they're off, he's working full time, right? Because the boss is like, oh, you don't have school, you can work all the time.
Come do this for me.
So he's actually working Christmas Eve. He'll get off, drive home, and then he'll be off Christmas Day, of course. But then he's immediately got to jump right back into the fray, and he's got to earn a living. So
listen, we're going to drop out and going to get to hear a great interview with Bruce Umpstead. He'll talk about his role with FETC 2017. When we come back, we'll talk about some stuff for your kids to do, and maybe you to do educationally with Google over the Christmas break.
Cool.
Hey, so sit back, relax. This is a recording we made earlier this week with Mr. Umpstead in the interview talking about FETC 2017.
All right, and coming up on the show next, we've got Mr. Bruce Umpstead, who's going to be one of the presenters at FETC, and we welcome him to EduTechGuys. Bruce, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Would you let everybody know who you are and where you are and kind of what you do, and then you can jump straight into what you're going to be doing at FETC.
Great. My name is Bruce Umpstead. I am managing partner of my own consulting firm. I call it Scale Up Education Partners, and I have, for the last year, I've been working with LRP Publications that runs the FETC show to design a IT summit, a pre-summit on the future of IT and education. And I'll be serving as chairperson and also a facilitator for the one session that it's a panel conversation on the return on instruction. That was a title that I came up with, and we'll be focusing on it from the IT side. I also serve as the IT track chairperson for FETC 2017, and that means that I was able to pick the 30 presenters that will fill out the concurrent sessions and workshops that run on a Thursday and Friday of FETC 2017. So that's what I've been doing.
Man,
you've been busy then. So.
Yes, I have been busy.
That's a lot of
at the end of the day, we probably have about 50 people that I had to tag to be either on panels or in presentations over the 4 days.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're the one who approved the technology track. That is no small order, man.
Not at all.
Well, and it's the first year that they've had the track. It was funny how we got, they have a solicitation or what I call a slush pile. We had like 94 come in, slotted for IT, and about half of them were really ed tech, so classroom focused. And so I had to kind of call out of the remaining half, the 30 presentations for the main track. It's a little bit challenging. Really had to rely on my network kind of come through there. But IT is becoming a more critical part of education and ed tech, everything that happens behind the wall, servers, routers, hubs, the cloud, data security, data privacy, all of those concerns typically belong to the IT leader in the building, and that's what the track and the pre-summit is all about, is focusing on helping IT leaders make better decisions and stay on top of cutting edge software and trends.
Well, that's and like you said, and I've been to FETC once before, a couple of years ago, and like you said, so that's actually a new focus for FETC, because in the past it's been much more the curriculum side, the ed tech side, and so to have a track that is specifically focused on the technology side, that's new.
Yes, I've been in education tech for probably about 12 years. In 2007, I became the Michigan State Ed Tech Director, so working with the Michigan Department of Education. It was a first-time position there at the department, and we really didn't have a focus on the IT side. Mostly it was like I was hired to roll out an online high school graduation requirement.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of people in that space already. So I kind of gravitated more towards data systems, instructional data systems, and the things that actually made it easier for teachers to do their instruction, like really providing technology to the point of instruction, but allowing others to kind of focus on the pedagogical and student-focused applications.
Sure.
And so this is just a natural role for me to kind of roll over to LRP Publications, which is a trade show organization that operates FETC 2017. And that's what I'm really excited about, is working with a professional organization that's focused on trade shows and really bringing quality content, and conference programming to the ed tech space.
Yeah, absolutely. So, before we delve too much further, have you been to FETC before, getting involved with LRP? Okay, I was just
back
curious.
in 2000. Well, there was a different media company that was operating
Right,
back in 2013. But I showed a documentary film that I co-produced called "Look, I'm Learning."
Oh, yeah.
So we showed that down there. They were very generous and allowed us to kind of preview it. Our national release was at South by Southwest EDU. So we previewed it at FETC back in 2013, and I've been attending every year since. It's a good conference, very teacher focused on the front end. So on the back end, it's nice to kind of build out some content for what in the industry might be called business decision makers, or I'm focused on more the IT business decision makers.
Yeah, well, and I think that's from my experience when I've been to FETC, and just kind of what FETC has been up to this point, it really has been that teacher focus. Although you definitely get some of the school technology folks who would come almost, by proxy, as it were, but not have the content specifically aimed at them. So that's very exciting. It really is. That's very cool that you guys are deving out the content to help get some of those folks who might not normally even come to that conference, because it's been so, ed tech, teacher focused. Now being able to bring those folks in there and hopefully get the two sides talking, because that doesn't always happen.
Right. And really the conference is a platform, right? It connects one party with another party and adds value in the transaction. And what LRP really focuses on is getting the content quality up, so that those business decision makers know they're spending that time wisely. And why not? It's Orlando,
right?
January
in the winter,
24th through 27th.
Yeah.
I hail from snowy Michigan. Like, I just got out of there this week for some family vacation. It was like 7 below, and 7. Let's not say below, but it was 7 degrees, and I shoveled 6 inches of snow off my driveway to get my car out on the highway down to Detroit and catch my flight to Florida.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so along that line, so now tell us about your presentation, your session. Give us some insight on what it's about, and a little summary or a big summary of what participants can look forward to.
Right. So there's a future of IT summit. It's a joint summit with the leadership summit that Jennifer runs concurrently. So we'll share an opening keynote, which is around return on instruction. And I came up with that title because I'm a finance and strategy person. I'm not really a technologist. Don't let anybody know that. But what I really focus on is technology as a strategy for improving outcomes for students. And more, we're seeing people really, they're able to back up the request for technology investment with impacts in the classroom. So what I call return on instruction. So Eric will take the keynote, and then I'll pick up there as a facilitator of a panel. And I have 3 people on that panel that I'll be talking with. One is Beatrice Hernandez from Houston Independent School District. She really inspired the panel and the idea of return on instruction. She's the instructional technologist lead for Houston Independent School District. 600,000 students, the largest urban one-to-one, rolled it out to all their high schools after a successful pilot called Power Up. It was so successful, get this, guys, that the curriculum unit at Houston picked it up. Now, when have you heard that the curriculum folks want to pick up and own a one-to-one initiative? Well, they did, and then crude prices dropped. Budget implications made Houston really kind of retrench, and and asked questions, should we be continuing this one-to-one initiative? And Beatrice and her team were able to actually deliver not only cost savings, but also return on instruction. Like, how were they impacting subpopulations? According to the federal guidelines, but also local, looking at how minorities are represented and how their performance academically had kind of improved. Free and reduced lunch students. I actually did a tour with her back in 2014, and it's just amazing to see the kind of central support that the Houston Independent School District was providing the local schools, both in terms of choosing the type of curriculum. The one I went to was an all-girls high school focused on pre-AP and AP for college preparatory, and they were all one-to-one. They were using, I think they were using the South Florida framework for measuring technology integration, and then they added a couple other pieces. So really helping that school drive their AP, pre-AP curriculum using one-to-one. So again, it wasn't your traditional one-to-one initiative where they're only measuring 21st century skills. That was actually an additive piece to it. They were measuring actual performance against AP and pre-AP coursework, and they had rolled that out to all of their high schools, and they were able to defend that investment and continued investment because of those instructional gains based on sub-pops and free and reduced lunch and all of that. So pretty exciting to see an urban district be able to sustain the largest one-to-one initiative in the country.
Heck yeah.
So I'm excited to have Beatrice there. She's there all week. She plays there all week. I've got her in not just this session that's on Tuesday for the summit, but I also have her presenting for IMS Global. She's big on interoperability standards, doing her own breakout concurrent session on return on instruction. So she's going to be able to pull up her numbers and go, not line by line, but pretty deep into the numbers on what they use to kind of support that continued investment. That's pretty exciting. So I'm happy to have her on the panel, and she really kind of inspired the whole concept of return on instruction.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But then I have a couple other people on the panel that get me pretty excited too. Jim Peterson, who hails out of snowy Illinois, Bloomington, downstate, kind of pretty close to Champaign, where the capital's at. He's been kind of building his own capacity at District 87 for a number of years as a Illini cloud. So actually offering a private cloud to Illini schools. It's a 3-district cooperative that kind of operates the data centers. They've got redundancy, disaster recovery. They started building their own identity solution and caught the eye of the Gates Foundation, and they have a grant to kind of build what they're calling a K-12 federation, a group of operators, whether that's a state level or regional level around the country, that are offering services. So it's kind of like, it's not really bartering, but it's kind of like bringing a group of operators together to offer different services. So they might offer disaster recovery and identity. Clark County Public Schools is part of that. They might offer cybersecurity and some advanced threat analytics. They've got the New York RICS as part of the founding group, and they provide data systems and some other capacities. And then also Nebraska, they've got a coordinating councils for their education service units. They're all like the founding members of this K-12 federation. And it's really a way to kind of network those districts and those regions and those state operators that are providing services at a much lower cost, whether it is identity or, like I said, cybersecurity, disaster recovery, other cloud services. So I'm pretty excited to have Jim on. And then we added Best Buy, which is also going to join. And I mean, there's a reason why you want to show up, and I believe Best Buy is the reason why you want to show up for our pre-conference. There might be some leftover Santa goodies in store for everybody, but we've added Best Buy to the panel to talk to us about how to make those smart buying decisions when you're looking at device and software.
Sure.
And so pretty excited about that. And we have Janet Copenhagen she's from Henry County, Virginia, and she's been a long time IT professional and has had to, slug it out in those budget sessions. And so we wanted to add somebody who's got more of a traditional approach to how she makes those types of buying decisions and investment recommendations. and how she's always been able to support classroom initiatives from a tech perspective. So I'm pretty excited about the panel. A lot to talk about, not that much time, but it's only one of, say, I think 5 or 6 that day, that Tuesday, that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about ecosystems. We're going to do an ecosystem slam. We've got Cliff Lloyd from the state of Tennessee to come and talk to us about device as a service. And then we kind of end the day on a joint panel with procurement. So that's invitation only, free summit. And then I handle the breakout for the IT professionals. So I'm pretty excited about where that's going. And then we have a half day on that Wednesday, the 25th.
Right, man. Hey, you guys are going to get a pretty decently full slate. Go ahead, man.
What's really cool is I think that the conversations that you're going to start with this, that's really the big impact here is, bringing in the fact that, the return on the investment of the returns are multiple tiered. It's not just about financial returns. It's also about curriculum returns and intellectual returns, the whole bit. I can't wait to see where the conversation leads, especially by the time you get to your final, your final forum. It's going to be a pretty good day.
It is. I like kicking off today with the focus on instruction. And where I came up with a concept for the return on instruction was the idea as a finance major coming into K-12. I mean, being hired to roll out online learning, it made sense, right, from a numbers perspective to start looking at online learning as a way to deliver at least those hard to fill classes or the hard to staff classes.
Yep.
But I didn't really find any cost of capital in K-12. I mean, I know some districts have to borrow money, for technology, so maybe their bonds come with a certain cost. But mostly, at least in Michigan, with the state of Michigan writing the check for most of the operations, if not all the operations, the cost of capital calculation kind of went out the window. So I'm like, where's the sustainability conversation?
Right.
Usually cost of capital says, can we sustain this? Can we pay for what it costs to make this investment? And I thought that the lack of cost of capital or the low cost of capital might make it harder, right, to make those investment decisions when it comes to technology and kind of keep things status quo. So I've been looking for ways to kind of come up with calculations that said, this is a no-brainer. We should be investing in technology. And when I was with the state of Michigan, we were able to actually get some dedicated funding for technology for online assessment. And we really went about it. Like, how do we spend this in a way that would leverage these dollars beyond, their own worth, right? It was $50 million, 0.4% of the budget. How are you really going to move all students to online assessment with 0.4% of the budget? You just don't go out and buy new computers, right? And boxes and wires, because at the end of the day, we tried that in Michigan, and it's not sustainable. And so we really started looking for ways to kind of leverage those dollars to get, not just 10x, but maybe 20x, 30x return. And it's because we already knew districts were spending money on assessment, they're spending money on technology. What if we got them all spending it together?
Right.
And so we started to look at incentivizing the spending of funds to get to where we wanted to go. So we were at 0% tested online in Michigan in 2012 when they started the program. And by 2014, after running it 4 years, 95% of students in Michigan tested online. So 0 to 95 in 4 years. But I wasn't too surprised that happened, because when we started offering a little bit of the money as incentive, right, for district participation in the overall program, we offered a little bit of the money and got 94% of districts to say sign on the first year. So if you got 94% of districts saying, hey, we're going to collectively work together, we're going to collaborate, we're going to come up with the best means possible for moving online because we all want to do it, right, with just a little bit of investment, then I believe that was the win. Getting everybody to collaborate and agree, right? That's the target. My frustration with the program, even though it was wildly successful, is that test scores went down. Because we were focusing again on how many students can we test and not how can we help those students perform better. So I think that's really the challenge, and that's why I'm happy to be talking about return on instruction at FETC, is that how can we make those investments wisely and leverage better student outcomes?
Yeah,
And that's got to be our bottom line going forward.
Awesome.
So I tell you what, we're going to take a quick break and hit a commercial, and then when we come back, we want to do a wrap up and let you give us what we like to call the 45-second elevator pitch, and then give a quick summary. So we'll be right back with EduTech Guys right after this commercial break.
Do you share a passion for education and technology? Be our guest on an upcoming show. It's easy. Just reach out to us on Twitter at EduTechGuys. We'd love to talk to you about education, technology, and what you're doing to help make a difference. That's at EduTechGuys on Twitter. Come be our guest. We'd love to have you.
Hey, you're listening to EduTech Guys Radio. Come to you live from Hope, Arkansas at the Southwest Arkansas Educational Cooperative, and we have our guest with us, and he's going to give us, it's now time for the 45-second elevator pitch. We're going to throw it right to Bruce, and he's going to give us his 45-second elevator pitch on what he's got going on at FETC.
Great. Well, I want all the IT business decision makers to put FETC 2017 on their list of conferences must-to attend. The must-to-attend conference. It's actually a 2-for-1. You register for the actual conference, which runs the 25th, 26th, 27th of January in sunny or warm, let me say sunny and warm Orlando, Florida. And you get a pre-conference invitation only to talk about things like return on instruction, which we just talked about, around creating learning ecosystems. How do you get your systems to talk together so you can share data and create learning analytics? We got a slam. We got some of the most cutting edge IT professionals out there who've created these systems. They can demonstrate how it works. We've got a chief technology officer for the state of Tennessee talking about device purchasing as a service. Think about that.
Yeah.
We're also investing in a conversation around how to develop yourself professionally. It's a new world order, right, in IT for education.
Right.
So we want you to come out, come learn about return on instruction. It's an invitation-only summit. Register for the conference, and we'll get you invited. I know that there's some benefits for registering early, so come on out to FETC 2017 and learn how we've programmed for everybody in IT and education.
Awesome.
Hey, guys, thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
hey, man. Thank you, Bruce, so much for being on the show, and we look forward to seeing you. We're actually going to be at FETC doing live conference coverage. So, man, I'd love to have you come by the table once we figure out where they're putting us. and I'd love to have you come by and just chat with us for a little bit.
Especially Wednesday. Let us know. Come by once if you make it through without having to sleep for an extra 4 hours after that barn burner of a Tuesday. Sit down with us and tell us how it's going at the conference. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Wednesday afternoon might be my only time. We actually have workshops running all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, half day Friday.
Wow.
For those hands-on deep dives on how you make your system safer, how you use SQL 2016 and Power BI to really drive your dashboards. A bunch of exciting things all week long. But maybe that Wednesday between the end of our pre-conference and the opening of the exhibit, and you don't want to miss the open of the expo. LRP makes that a big deal, so I'm excited about opening the expo on Wednesday the 25th. So I'm expecting a lot of good things. So I hope a lot of your listeners and you obviously will be down there. So I look forward to connecting there.
Yeah, man.
Awesome. Hey, before we let you go real quick, folks want to follow you on social media. Where do they hit you up?
At Umpstead on Twitter is probably my best bet.
Okay.
You try to follow me on Facebook, but that's more of a personal.
No,
we like Twitter better too.
Twitter
awesome.
is at Umpstead, and I'll start getting more stuff out there about FETC coming up.
Cool.
In the
Awesome.
new year.
Well, great. Again, thank you so much for taking out time of your day there and visiting with us. And we look forward to hopefully seeing you at FETC.
All right. Stay warm. See you in Orlando in January.
All
Thanks.
right. Sounds good. Thanks, man. Hey, this week's Artist of the Week is Brooke Annabelle, and this song is called This Holiday. Enjoy.
Holidays are here again.
Hey, well, you know what time it is.
It's time for the Google Tip of the Week.
David has to sing that in every week, or it's just not the same.
It's not. It's in my rider.
This is the Christmas Google Tip of the Week. That's not really. This is just the Google Tip of the Week.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, ho, 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 and all that good business. This is a great one. To manage iOS devices without MDM profile. So here's a big deal with a lot of companies, and this works the same way with teachers. Your employees don't like to put any MDM profiles on their private devices, but they maybe would like to have the same features that they have at school with their email and all that kind of good stuff, but they don't want to load up your MDM profiles on their private devices. So to meet the needs of admins and employees, on the 15th, which was just a few days ago, Google introduced an agentless way to manage iOS devices. So now under mobile management, once you have mobile management set up in your Google, you'll find underneath that enable mobile management. And now there's a new basic feature.
Cool.
And that basic mobile management allows admins to mandate basic security on iOS devices without requiring users to install an MDM profile, which is really great. It also relieves the admins of the need to set up an Apple push certificate and the hassles of renewing that certificate regularly. So with basic mobile management, the admins can enforce a lock screen. They can wipe a corporate account, but not the entire device. And they can view, search, and manage their device inventory. So basic management kind of makes it easier for staff to use their personal devices as work.
Cool.
So, allow them to set up their own corporate accounts and all that kind of good stuff. So there is the Google Tip of the Week, which works out great if you're a Google admin. If you're not, then don't worry about it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Hey, listen, it's been a great show.
Hey, man. Yeah, absolutely.
It is the Christmas show. We will be back next week after Christmas. I'm guessing we will be.
I'm assuming.
If I live through the eggnog and the ho 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 holidays, the
ho hos.
The ho hos. Remember those ho hos with a little chocolate?
I do. They're my favorite. Still love them.
Delicious.
Salute little.
It's really tasty. So anyway, hey, I'm Jeff.
I'm David.
And have yourself a merry little Christmas.
Oh, shoot.
You've been listening to EduTech Guys Radio, radio.edutechguys.com.
The opinions expressed on the site and its programs are those of participants and not intended to and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of any specific educational entity, sponsor, company, state, or government agency.